Hi, I'm Tim,
I'm Lizzie.
and we are
Or not.
To Play, a show about board games for two players.
Whose tastes might differ.
Hello!
Hello. Today we are looking at Pan Am the game. Does it say there?
Not just Pan Am.
It says Pan Am the game
There's
on
probably
it.
another one called Pan Am, not the game.
This is by Funko Games, 2 to 4 players. 60 minutes of flying fun.
Is that what it says?
No, I just made that up.
It's a good tagline, you should sell that.
Now, as this is a worker placement game, I don't really know the whole world of worker placements. It's not my
She does
area of
now.
expertise. Spread gave me a few to play. This is one of them, so we'll see how he got on, shall we?
Yeah, well, I mean, we were actually requested to play one of these, which is a worker placement, and once we played that, it was kind of, the doors are open now.
I wanted
We're
to
going
compare it as well.
Yeah, true. Anyway, so Pan Am. This is a great worker
Pan
placement.
Am.
This is for 4 players max, though, which is I don't know if that's standard for worker placements, but it's a shame he doesn't play with more because it's quite a sort of nice thematic game. So the way that it plays out, I'll try and be as sort of comprehensive but brief as I can because obviously worker placements are quite
You do
involved.
talk a lot, so yeah.
You start the game with, well, the idea, first of all, is that you're running small airlines and you're trying to get bought out or sell your airlines and your routes to Pan Am.
Pan Am.
So Pan Am started in Southern America somewhere and they kind of just spread out and sort of took over the world. And this kind of catalogues that sort of story, really. So at the start of the game, you get 5 engineers. These are little sort of pawns with cogs on their feet to show that they're engineers. You get 5 of those. You get 3 planes, 2 of the smaller type of planes, which are called, and I've got a little cheat sheet here because I don't want to get the terminology wrong. You get 2 tri-motor planes, so little propeller planes, and 1 clipper. And that's kind of back in the 30s, 40s, whatever. Those are the planes that you sort of started off with in that era. You get those to start your game, and you get 12 money. And then alongside that, you get 2 destination cards. Not money.
This is 12 money, like not pounds or dollars.
Oh, well, I think they're probably dollars, but and you get 2 destination cards of random places around the map, and 1 directed card. So that's your kind of setup, and we'll explain those as you go along. So as you play the game, and do it in turn order, obviously. First person is the last person that took a flight, apparently.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah. So no one then, due to COVID.
Was there? I can't remember.
And the idea is, again, you take your 5 engineers and you place them at various points on the board. So point A is airport. So basically, that you want to buy an airport, and each of these areas, not all of them, but each of these areas, for instance, airport, has a value that you have to pay to achieve that thing, and you kind of bid. So the first slot is, I think it's $3, and it's $5, and $7, and so on. So you put, obviously, if you were the first in A, you'd put $3 because you want to pay the least price you can. But then the next person could place above you in that same section and kick you off, basically. So that's the idea.
So I'll have to pay more.
Can play in the same place that somebody's already played, but you play higher up the bidding pole, and you have to pay more, and it just kicks the other person back into their hand, and they can actually go back there and they can outbid you.
Go higher again.
But they, it basically just there's only one person in each place at the end of a session. But you can kind of keep going back there until you get to the top of the bidding pole. But you have to be able to afford that, obviously. And then so that's A, airports, and then the second section is B, which is destinations. And basically there's a big pack of destination cards, and there are 2 of each, I believe, for every destination, every location on the map, and they're just turned over randomly from the distribution deck into 4 slots. And again, you can bid on any of those 4. You can bid on the same one twice. You can bid on 2 or 3, whichever.
Really want it,
So it is your choice, how you do that. So again, only 1 pawn at a time, and only one of these spaces at a time. So if you go on to B, you bid for the destination. And in fact, the first slot is free. You can go into the free slot and not bid any money at all. Hopefully nobody will outbid you. Then there's this next section is C, which is the actual planes. So you can buy another tri-motor or another clipper. And there are further planes for further on into the game, so bigger planes, so cruisers and jets.
They're more expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, they are more expensive, but they're more powerful and they're bigger. Obviously, you can get more passengers on thematically.
They're actually physical planes as well, which I
really nice
like.
little kind of little Airfix models. Sort of
Yeah.
thing. But those are covered up until sort of section 3 and 4. I think is
4, 5,
the phase, the round. So you can't buy those until you get further on to the game. And again, bid in tracks, so buy those, some of them for 2 or 3 or 4, depending on how you get outbid. Then the next section is D, which is the it's the routes.
Oh,
It's laying a route.
Yeah.
Not D for destination, it's D for routes. So basically that's a little track of left to right slots, and there's no cost to it. So the first slot goes first when you do the resolution round. The first slot goes first, the second slot second, and so on. You don't have to pay for it, but you do have to have each end of that flight. So if you were going from, I can't think of any of the destinations now, but say New York to Paris, it's not going to be that. But if it was New York to Paris, you'd have to you'd have to own New York and Paris. So if you were going between the two,
San Francisco to Mexico City.
there you go. There are two that are next to each other, if you like. So you need to own both of those two to fly from one to the other and claim that route. And there are mitigation ways of getting around that, but I'll tell you that in a bit. So that's selecting a route. And then the last one is E, which is directives. And basically the little directive cards are kind of special powers. I'll think of those in a second when I explain those.
Yeah, like end game things, or
they're
after each round
phases and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's the way the game plays, is that you lay out your 5 men one at a time, take it in turns.
On any of those.
On any of those, yeah.
Which I do like that.
Yeah, any of those. And then once you've laid all, and once everybody's laid all your 5 engineers, then you go into the resolution phase. So there's the laying phase. In fact, actually, just jumping back quickly, before you start laying all your engineers, the very first thing you do is turn over an event card. So there's a set of cards in the middle of the board called event cards, and they basically just set the theme for that round, and it's kind of like a year thing. So like I said, I think it starts in 1935 thereabouts, and there's a
I really like them.
yeah,
I love a theme.
this really is thematically good. So the card,
It tells you.
the postman's just arrived, so I think we've just got to go and get that. We'll probably cut back into this in a second. Okay.
And action.
Okay, I'm back.
Did you notice anything? They didn't notice at all. It's fine.
We didn't have
Seamless.
a postman break at all. Okay, brilliant.
Seamless.
Maybe Amazon popping in next. Anyway, so
Event cards.
event cards. Thank you. So so there's a stack of event cards, which they change each round. So basically, there's I can't remember how many rounds it is now. Is it 6 or 7
6
rounds?
maybe in my
Seven.
head?
7. It's 7
Oh,
rounds.
7.
Got on there. 7 rounds. So there are 7 event cards, but there are sort of 4 or 5 of each round for you to choose from. You don't obviously see them. You kind of just say round 1. Just kind of shuffle them up and choose one of the round 1s.
Yeah.
So it's good for replayability. You get a different round 1, 2, 3 card each time because you've just randomly selected
But the 1/7 you get will be in timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you start with round 1, which is obviously the earliest period, then it goes up to round 7 when it literally walks through the eras, the sort of war years and the
story of
post-war years.
Panam,
Yeah,
you know, their
and
history.
the idea thematically again is that you read the event card and it says 2 things. One is something that's going to happen that round. So for instance, everybody gets, Pan Am's expanded, yay! Everybody gets $5 or something like that, or
a bit of stock.
Whatever it is. So there are various things that happen. Everybody gets a destination card for free or something like that. So there are some things that are immediate and everybody gets something, or sometimes it will say at the end scoring of this round, anyone that's got New York in their destinations gets $5 or something like that. I don't know. It's relative to the storyline, if you like, of the Pan Am expansion, but it's thematic for the game, and you can use it, or everybody can use it depending on how it is.
And it tells you what's happened in the storylines, like the wars hit. Which I really like that kind of thing.
And for instance, the wars hit, stock's gone down. So also the other thing, apart from it saying something about the storyline and the events, it adjusts the stock level. So down in the bottom left-hand corner of the board is a stock level, which starts at 3. You have a little marker that stock starts at 3. And the whole point of the game is that you're trying to get the most stock in Pan Am by selling your routes to Pan Am and then just buying stock with money you've accumulated for whatever reason. So the stock price goes up and down depending on these event cards. And obviously the cheaper you can buy your stock, the better it is, because at the end of the round, at the end of the whole game, you've got more stock for a cheaper price. So more stock wins basically. So you want to try and buy as much stock as you can at the beginning of the game, generally. But of course, sometimes stock price goes down. Feel free.
One of the cards,
the
end game cards,
the directive cards.
Last time I played this, I remember I got a card that said you can have a sneaky peek at the next event card.
Yeah,
and I got a sneaky peek to see whether the stock was going to go up or down.
That's true.
I think it was going to go up. So I got me stock.
That's good knowledge,
and you didn't know it.
Yeah. That's one of the phases, which we'll get to in a minute. So, so that was jumping back to the very first thing you do every round is read the event card. Then you do your placing your engineers, which you just covered, and then you do the resolution of those placements
in order.
A, B, C, D. So you go to airports first. Whoever's got that airport bid in, they pay their money into the supply, into the bank, and they get a little airport, so a little airport conning tower sort of thing. Conning tower, I don't know, but a little airport tower, and you place it on any destination you like. You don't have to own the destination in your destination cards. You can place it on any destination that you please. And again, the idea with that is there are two reasons really that you have these kind of destinations, and it's like I say, to place a route you have to own landing rights at one of the both of the destinations. A airport tower gives you permanent landing rights at that location, so when you place it, your airport is there forever, so you can always land at that
if you get sent
location.
To an airport, it's quite handy.
Whereas the destination cards give you landing rights, and so they're kind of fleeting. You may have them for the whole game, but you may not, and you don't need to have them for the whole game. As long as you've got it at the time you lay the route, then you've kind of got rights to lay that route. So that's the thing with the airports. Airports stay there forever. Landing rights cards, the destination cards, are kind of fleeting and temporary. So yeah, resolve the airport. So whoever's got the airports buys that and lays it, and then you do the destination cards. So again, whoever's got the most bid on any of the cards, they claim them into their hand. These are all played face up, so everyone can see who's got what. And then you do the airplanes. So you buy any airplanes that you need to get, because you need to have a good supply of airplanes to lay them on routes. And then you lay the routes. So again, left to right, you resolve that. So if it's possible that you've got 2 or 3 in a row, of course. You might have claimed 2 or 3 in a row destinations, routes that you're going to play. So you just resolve them. And basically, like I say, you lay your airplane on a route between 2 locations. And the route has a value. So it might be 2. You can lay a 2 plane on it. You can also lay higher, so you can lay a 3 or 4 plane value on it, but it doesn't, it doesn't affect anything. So you kind of wasted a higher value.
You can't lay a 2 plane on a 3. Really.
Exactly right. Yeah. So you have to pay at least that. And the way that works is, like I say, you have to have rights at both ends, and you can claim rights by having the card. So again, what was the 2 you did earlier on? You did San Francisco and Mexico. So let's say, for instance, you had Mexico and San Francisco. You've got those showing, so you just point out, I've got those 2. You can lay your route claim by placing your airplane on it. Simple. If you don't have one of those 2 ends, you could still play there by mitigating your circumstances, which are if you've got another matching locations, so the locations are kind of Europe, South America, North America, whatever. And they're different colours, for the different territories. If you've got another airport destination card in the same territory colour, you can discard that back into the supply. It's like a discard pile, doesn't get reused. You can discard that to say, I've got another one in the same colour which I will trade in to enable me to place that route.
That's quite good.
If you've not got that, you could trade in two other rather than one of any other colour. They got to be, I don't think they got to be matching actually. Don't think they do. So two others. can't remember. We'll clarify that. 2 other cards. So, for instance, 2 Europe cards or 2 Asia cards to claim the South American one that you want to use. So, discard 1 of the same color or 2 of another color to claim that landing right. And that's pretty much it. So either an airport or the destination card, or 2 of the other or 1 of the other, and you can then place your plane. It doesn't cost anything, just to have those things. It costs if you have to discard, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you've got the right ones, you
yeah.
don't have to discard them. You keep those. And then the next section gets resolved, which is E, which is called directive cards. And basically, as Bear said, it's you claim, you get a card for going there. You get a card, and it's little bonus enablements, like you can play in the C phase, the buying planes. If it says in the buying planes C section, lay this card and get a free plane, or
bonuses,
stuff like that, or claim any route for free. You can take 5 cards off the top of the route destination cards and take 1. Things like that.
It's off your luck thing as well.
So yeah, they're little bonus cards. Some of them are during the phase that you have to play it, and some of them are end game. So for instance, a really powerful card in that is claim 1 stock for free at the end of the game. So you just, that's a cool one, I'll keep that secret. Because when you get stock in the game, it's an open thing, it's an open secret. I've got 5 stocks so far, you've got 6, she's in the lead, that kind of thing. Whereas those directive cards are secret, and at the end of the game you could reveal, I've got 3 get 1 stock free cards, and then right at the end, you can kind of, I've got 3 secrets that you didn't know of stock cards.
It's usually the way you play.
Yeah. But also the other point with the directive slots are, when you get to the finishing all the resolution and all that sort of stuff, you leave your engineer on the E slots. All the others you kind of claim back as you resolve them, but you leave your engineer on the E slots, and that enables you to go first next round. So
I knew it was one. I wasn't sure if it was D or E, but I knew one of them was.
It's not so massively important in a 2-player game, I guess, but in a 4-player game, it certainly is. You know, you suddenly first player token goes round in sequence. Obviously, I go first, then they go first, then they go first each round. But if you've got a man or an engineer on your E slot, the directive, that's like a I go first.
It's handy for
before the first player.
To buy an airport for cheap.
Yeah, it's really neat. So if you suddenly think, I need to do something first next go, and I've just had my first
one
go.
destination you need. You think I'm gonna get.
You can bang your man in there. You'll get a free directive card, which is a bonus, and also you go first next go prior to the first player. So basically, you take your man off of that E slot and lay him somewhere before the first player goes. Really nice little sort of keep yourself in front mechanism. Really nice. And that's pretty much it. And then there's another section. So there's so you've done your event card, you're laying out your workers, your resolution, and then you do a buying stock phase, whereby you literally say, how much money have you got? How much is the stock? It's 3. I've got 12. I'm going to buy 4 stock. Bang, or whatever. So you say, I want to buy 4 stock. You put your money into the bank. You get 4 stock cards, and that's 4.
Which is quite funny because if the next event card says
stock goes down. By the way, in one round I could have bought 4, 5 more. Cheaper or whatever. But that's the whole point of the game. The stock goes up or down. So really nice little sort of phase there where you're deciding what to do, looking at other people. Obviously later on in the game it gets more and more kind of, ooh, shall I buy them now? And then there's one other bit where the last little phase of the round is Pan Am expands, and you've got this little dice, and on the board there are little marked sections of the routes that have got kind of like a dotted line and a zigzag line and a dash line. And there are different routes that Pan Am will, and in real life, expand into. This is what happened in the world of Pan Am.
It's great on theme again.
Yeah, so you roll the dice, and if it's a zigzag line, that line expands Pan Am's route. And what you do is just take a little Pan Am token, you put it onto the route that is, the next one in line of the zigzag route. And if you've got that route, and so if you own that route, you've got a little plane on it, Pan Am are forced to buy that route off of you. That's what happened in real life. They kind of expanded.
And they give you stock for that? Or
they give you stock.
Yeah.
Is it stock or money?
Stock?
Can't remember now.
I don't remember.
One or the other. I think it's stock. It's stock.
That's what it is, stock.
Yeah. So you get stock, and you get your plane back as well. So you know, it's not like you lose the plane; you get your plane back.
But
You
it's
don't
timing,
own the
it's
route.
timing of that, isn't it? Timing of getting them.
Yeah, it's a really nice little mechanism.
You don't want to do it too early.
No, it's a strange thing. You kind of get used to it once the game starts flowing. And again, part of the event card phase, when you kind of turn that over, sometimes it says roll 2 or 3 of these Pan Am expansion dices. Yeah. So that's quite nice. And so you expand accordingly, and also there's a little Pan Am logo on the dice. That if you roll the Pan Am logo, at that point anybody can buy stock if you can afford it. So again, separate to the actual stock buying phase, this sort of rolls and you can trade in one of your routes for stock. Really, really nice little mechanisms. Really nice game. You play that sequence of events basically over 7 rounds. And the one with the most stock at the end of those 7 rounds wins. I think I've kind of covered it there. That was quite complex and convoluted, but I think I made it.
Usual complex explanation.
It's not my fault. It's a complex game, but it's not at all complex to play. It sounds complex to explain, but it's not.
It's
it really is
thing
quite
of,
simple.
it sounds complicated when you play it. It's not complicated.
Really easy to play, and loads of really nice choices. Really nice sort of give and take on the sort of do you outbid somebody to buy that plane at this moment because I really, really want to get a 3 route down or a 4 route down.
Shall I say what I like about it? Because obviously I was a bit wary.
Please do. Yeah, let's get into what we
when
think of the game.
When you said Pan Am, I was like, oh god. But I was very pleasantly surprised. Very pleasantly surprised. I like the theme. The kind of Catch Me If You Can movie, 1940s.
Yeah.
50s.
Yeah.
Love the little planes. Little planes are really cute.
Probably 50s, 60s actually, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's war though as well. So it starts from.
Yeah, it starts then. Yeah, the theme is kind of looks like that Catch Me If You Can 60s thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Do love it.
Yeah.
The little planes. I like the event cards because they're again keeping with the theme. Every card you turn over tells you about the progress of Pan Am and the world state, the stock state and stuff.
Yeah.
And I actually was pleasantly surprised about worker placement. The fact that you've got different places to choose. I do like that. The fact that you've got different areas. It's up to you where you place your.
Yeah, you said it's called like almost like a sort of choose your own adventure sort of.
Yes, because we can play.
Go wherever you like.
We can play it differently, can't we? Like I can be concentrating on just getting these destinations built up.
Well, it's almost like a kind of sandboxy sort of game, which.
Where?
It's like you can do anything you like.
Right.
And it kind of is. You could literally go that place 3 or 4 times, or that place not at all. Or if you definitely needed to get an airport, you could go right to the top of the airport bidding thing. You don't have to just start at the bottom and work your way up. You could go straight in at 9, and definitely you're going to get an airport. Nobody can outbid you.
It's up to you what you do, rather than just like, oh, here I've got to go here, and then I roll and go here.
Yeah.
It's different.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, so
that's interesting.
Yeah.
I was interested in it for the whole game. I wasn't like, oh, that's complicated. I was kind of intrigued by the theme, the whole game, and I was enjoying all the time.
Well, I mean, I agree with that. The theme is very strong. The theme is strong with this one. I mean, a lot of worker placements. I mean, I guess they're just an excuse to do a mechanic to get victory points. Or whatever. The theme is really kind of. It's very evident in the way that the game plays, the storyline from the event cards.
I like the fact it's like a real life theme as opposed to like dungeons.
Yeah. Dungeons are real life.
Well, you know, dragons maybe then. The dragon part.
Okay, they're not so much. But yeah.
But I do like a real life theme. You know,
yeah, I mean, this really does kind of. I mean, it doesn't reenact the Pan Am expansion, but it kind of it tells that story in the mechanics, and it works really well. It's a very, very thematic game, and the pieces, you know, all the little aircraft and stuff like that. It's really, I agree with you entirely on everything you say.
Do you like it more than me?
Don't know. What's the scores? Do the scores.
Well, I wrote down my score for this, but I think I might bump up a bit now I'm talking about it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
cool. Well, I've got to do the maths again then.
Oh God, yeah.
Live on camera.
I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10.
Woohoo! Nice. Oh, so you were 7.5, weren't you? Yeah. That's what, I get that. I mean, and I'm the same. Now we're talking about it. Yeah, now we're talking about it. I'm a bit more excited about it. I don't want to play it again. So
there you go.
I'm not going to bump my score up though. I'm kind of settled with my score. But I know what you're saying. Once you start talking about this game and the way that the theme works and all that, and it does work really well as a 2-player game. My score is 8.5.
Okay.
So between us, that's 16.5. Thank you very much. which is pretty good for us. I mean, so that shows that it does meet us both right in the
one
middle.
that I thought I'd be giving it like a 4. You know, I wouldn't want to be. Oh, it sounds complicated.
Yeah, it does sound complicated. I'll give you that. My explanation
massive
then.
big map.
Lived it.
Like, but I was. Yeah.
Yeah, not complicated at all. Really easy to
it?
play. This is the sort of game you could kind of introduce your family to almost.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's kind of.
Yeah.
I
would try it.
It's kind of Ticket to Ride level almost.
Yeah.
I think the concept of worker placement's harder to grasp, I think, than the actual doing of it. You know.
I think Ticket to Ride is probably more simple.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's the same level of complexity, but I'm just saying
this is more interesting.
Yeah, I think it's just got that kind of, it's got that vibe about it that it's kind of, it's tangible. Like you say, it's real world. It's not Dungeons and Dragons. It's real world. You can kind of explain why you're doing stuff. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So I think it's kind of family level in that respect, that it's, you know, you can explain, oh, you're buying that route because you want to get in front of Pan Am, who's going to expand into that route, and you want to build that airport there.
Saying, no, Mum, you don't do that, Mum, because then the dragon will kill you.
Yeah, you're like, what?
No.
So I mean, it's accessible from that point of view. So yeah, for all those reasons, I really like this game, and 8.5 is my score. So
16.5.
Yeah, very good score. So we recommend this for sure.
2 thumbs up. Oh,
yeah. 4 thumbs up. Take it on holiday with you. Pan Am, it's a holiday destination joke.
It's too big for that.
Yeah, I know, I'm joking.
It's like safe flight.
But anyway, so yeah. So safe flight.
Bit turbulent.
So that's another worker placement I've got Bear to play. So if you've got any comments that you want to mention, put them down below. And also please give us some likes, because likes are good apparently.
Yeah, like, comment.
They help the
Subscribe,
algorithms.
Share.
But yeah, we'll probably do another couple of worker placement reviews soon, because we've done that other one, Crown of Imara. Go and check that out, see whether or not that beats this or not. And we've got some others that we played, so that we did a bit of a kind of binge on worker placements to kind of get Bear into that sort of mindset. So
stay tuned for the next one.
Yeah, stay tuned for the next worker placement review. Maybe. You never know.
Then can we play a game that I want to play?
Yeah, what? Maybe. Some sort of worker placement fairy tale. I'm making that up now.
I'll get an exit game out.
Dog placement.
Dog placement. Oh yeah. That'd be great.
There's no such thing. Gap in the market.
Someone make a dog placement game, please.
All right. Thanks for watching this one, and we'll see you on the next one.
Safe flight.
Bye bye. Captain. Doors to manual.